What's up, everybody? Welcome to the latest episode of Incognito Banter. I messed up a little, but glad we're back.
Episode 18.
Episode 18. Today we're going to kind of just go over lots of new things. For once, I'm going to be the one that brings up the Reddit story. So I don't have to listen to these guys again. We all clearly know I'm the best with these.
Bile and blood spewing stories, maybe.
Did you not hear my story from last week? It was fucking fire. Out that woman's asshole region.
Asshole was on fire
Yeah.
after that, or whatever the fuck. Like it was an incision in the taint.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm going to be honest, I forgot it. What was it about?
It was that OR nurse that...
Oh yeah, with the obese lady.
The obese
Remember?
lady and...
Like,
TLDR was don't inject, what the fuck was it? Like don't do drugs, inject drugs through your taint.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, some people need to know that.
I feel like the kids that ate Tide Pods, same people.
I'd say that's actually not a bad comparison because like for us it's like obvious.
Like, I don't think
yeah.
at ever any point in my life, like even if I was gonna do drugs, I'd be like, you know what, my taint is the best spot for this.
Yeah. Like who?
Maybe it's easier for it to like hit the,
Like it's probably like
hit you
a
high.
different hit or something. Or no, I think what she said was that lots of holes in the arms because of previous drugs, so they started finding new places to do it.
Yeah, that's not a bad point too. But she was huge from the
Yeah,
description.
314 pounds or something like that.
Gotta be a lot. Gotta be a lot. Like, how do you run out of area? I guess I don't. I imagine you probably don't inject it into your stomach.
Why?
I don't know.
You're already
That's where the food goes.
Yeah. Well, it's got because it has to. I think the whole thing has to be in the bloodstream, has to connect, and then I don't know enough about like drug circulation, but it has to get to your brain, your heart. It has to get to like be processed somewhere, right? Your kidneys.
I bet. But back to what we were saying. I'm doing a Reddit story today, so you guys are going to hear from that. We're going to talk about Fool Me Once, episode 1, season 1.
Let's go.
There's only going to be one season. There's no way they can do a second season.
I didn't
It's
know
a limited
that.
series, that's why.
I didn't
There's
know
not. It's
that.
not a spoiler or anything.
Thanks, man.
No, it's literally a limited
we'll
series. That's the whole point of a limited series.
You know what?
Just do one season.
I
of
don't
this.
even want to watch it anymore.
Yeah, like
man.
if it's limited, if they're not world building around this bitch's tragedy.
Well, I don't think people know. Actually, no. We asked all the viewers to
Watch it.
That's
watch
true.
it.
If they
So,
didn't do their homework.
it's not a spoiler anymore.
Like, fuck
Episode
'em.
1 is not.
Yeah. We're going to talk about Trump's creative ways to fund his penalties that he owes.
Yep.
That's going to be fun. And then that's pretty much it.
Okay, so let's talk about it. Episode 1. So at the end of this episode, we kind of make a decision if we want to continue watching it or move on to the next show.
Okay.
Right? This show has 8 episodes. We're on episode 1, and
Yeah.
I will say I'm overall okay about the show,
okay,
but I will say that I like what they're trying to do. If that's a good way of wording that, right? Because I feel like throughout the episode, I learned more and more about her in a very cool way.
yeah,
You know, and also.
Also, you don't know anything about her.
Yeah,
at the same time.
At the same time, like I don't know whether, and the whole thing is naturally the way it starts. The way it starts is like as we've seen now, but the husband died.
Yeah,
But
that's not how it starts though. It starts with a bunch of people.
Oh, yeah.
in those crazy masks or
like
whatever.
purge
some
mask
ritual shit.
Yeah, some ritual shit, and we have no context around what happens
Yeah.
or what those, things are.
Yeah,
you
no,
know?
but as I going back to the whole thing, it was like her husband died.
Yeah.
Her sister died, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on, right? And then you learn a little bit more about her, but I just like the way the order in which they release that information, because I was like, oh, this is weird. And then you're on her side, you're not on her side, you're on her side again.
Yeah.
Like it's just a lot of doubt. But story direction is good. Like that's my whole thing.
Okay, let's talk about all the characters, right? Like,
Yeah.
let's talk about the characters. Let's talk about predictions, and let's talk about like what you guys think is like how they could have fixed it or made it different for it to be better for you. Okay. And one thing I'll say is like, listen, episode 1 is usually like world building, right? Like trying to hook you in, but not like certain shows will try to hook you in right away, and you're like convinced that I want to watch episode 2, like Suits, right?
Yeah.
Episode 1, you're in.
Yeah.
The when Harvey and Mike meet in that office and they exchange that,
And that's the whole thing, right? Like episode 1, and that's why I'm like a little bit scared or worried or how I'm gonna worried about the show, because episode 1 for a lot of shows is one of their best episodes.
Yep.
When you look back on it, for like Game of Thrones, first episode, one of the best episodes, consistently rated one of the best episodes of the show. Suits, right? Very memorable. I don't know how it ranks. What other show could I talk about here?
But on the contrary, there are shows like Sheldon, like Big Bang Theory, right? Was not one of the best episodes that they had.
Yeah,
episode 1 was not.
There,
right?
You're right.
So like, there's a lot of shows where they're still figuring out, or they buy pilots, but they're not necessarily made. Game of Thrones was the episode you're talking about, was reshot 4 times, right? Before they release this. They reshoot the whole thing. They had like the Night King in the first episode or something, in one of the instances and stuff like It was, so that's okay.
So first episodes of shows, very important.
Very important, but I wouldn't bet the whole series on that.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. With that said, let's talk about the characters. We have, so our main character is Maya, and
Can we come back to her?
okay, let's come back.
She's
to
the
her.
most. I think she's probably the most complex character right now, without any context.
No, that makes sense. So we have Abby as the babysitter.
Love that.
Fuck her.
Oh.
I think. Like,
Interesting.
But the whole thing is, why does she have to be so unnecessarily confusing? And I get it, that's plot, and we'll find out in the next few episodes.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, man, why you gotta like? This chick is clearly going crazy. Why are you gonna like kind of like gaslight her into being like, I see nothing?
I love that.
Or what if there was nothing though? We don't know this yet.
No, I agree. That's the whole thing where I'm like, I'm on her side. I'm not on her side for Maya, but I will say the babysitter. I'm mixed on her.
I don't like
but
her.
I think
Well, she did pepper spray the shit out of Maya.
So that's the thing. Like
Unprovoked.
It was a
It
disproportionate.
was not unprovoked.
She didn't do anything
think
physically to danger
That's
her.
what I'm saying. It's a disproportionate response to what Maya did.
I think
It's like, hey, I have you on video. Look at this. Can you see this? And it's just like, yeah. Psst. Like,
no, but she was yelling at him. She recorded her without her consent. Like there's a bunch of like
she did freak out about that part. You're right.
like there's a bunch of
that's
things.
not warranting pepper spray. Yelling and
So-
recording without consent, dude. That's an Indian household.
So I will say that it was actually interesting because she seemed to what's the babysitter's name?
The babysitter's
Or nanny
name
or whatever it
is
Abby.
Abby,
right?
sorry, yeah.
And so Abby, when they pulled her, when she was getting pulled, I'm like, maybe she was freaking out about that. But overall, it feels like she's like a plot device, more of like a messenger, really, if anything. And she's just like trying to keep herself out of it. But at the same time, like,
She's
just
like, I'm on the payroll of whatever scheme is going
Yeah.
on right now. So just keep me out of it.
yeah.
I just
But fuck her.
no, I don't. No, I don't like her at all. I don't know why you're defending her any bit. Like I'm saving my opinions for the end.
Okay,
because they're very extreme.
okay.
And
Then we also meet Shane Tesser.
the detective.
No, the friend.
No, as a friend, right?
Oh yeah.
The friend she went to the gun range with. He was at the party, right? He basically was like, oh yeah, yeah. What are your thoughts on that?
Shady.
He's shady as fuck, man.
He just
He's an
everywhere.
ex-military guy with her.
Yeah, I mean
Maya,
she's
right?
also
Yeah.
ex-military.
No, with
so
her,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. that's
No,
what I'm
he's
saying.
shady as fuck, dude.
Joe's our dead guy. Joe's the one who died.
The
Joe Burkett.
husband?
Yeah.
Also,
We didn't see much
no
of
opinion
him
on him,
except
yeah.
except the
baby cam footage.
baby cam
Yeah,
footage.
yeah.
Yeah. And like how he
And-
picked her up.
And maybe part of that ritual shit in the
Yeah.
opening scene.
We have no idea.
I have no
The
idea.
mom is fucking shady.
Judith,
Mom.
that's Judith.
Gaslighting
Burkett, yeah.
bitch.
Mom is shady AF.
Gaslighting queen.
You think?
She's gaslighting as hell, dude.
Why
Come
do you
on.
think so?
I think she knows.
I thought she
I
was
think
really
she's in the
helpful.
center. I think she's it's definitely something family related, right? In the
Yeah,
center. of
she
all
knows
this.
what the fuck's up. She's like, no, you're just grieving. Here, leave.
Yeah.
Here's some money. Get help.
It's like go shoot.
And
Just
then
trying to keep her away from everything.
what do you guys think of the detective, Sammy? Sammy Kears.
Bro,
Fucking weirdo.
This guy is confusing as fuck. He's like the most detailed guy. And also like to his fiance, who's getting pregnant with his kid, assuming, is like weirdly like weird. They have a weird relationship.
Weird couple, right?
Yeah, like she's very bubbly and all that stuff, and
Yeah.
he's just like meh.
He's just a.
Man, you see? Like a goddamn
What about the
40s
crash?
detective.
What about
Yeah,
the
right.
crash?
When he's fucking passed out.
He
like,
passed out on the wheel
Yeah,
and then just
so I
crashed.
noticed that. And I looked at the text and the numbers he was texting and all this stuff. It was not his wife. It was, and then I know they like right around the time they mentioned that they say something about his ex-wife and all of those, and him drinking and all of those feelings coming
Well, I
back.
thought it was like his handler. So that's what I was telling him.
Yeah.
I watched it with my wife. I thought it was like his handler from because he said he was like he has sobriety now, right? Like so, I
Yeah,
thought he was
yeah.
some sort of either Narcotics or Alcoholics Anonymous. I think it's
I don't think so because he's like it happened again and whatever because he's
Yeah,
describing.
I think it was the handler too. I'm with him
I don't
on
think
that.
it was hand because there was no name or anything. It seemed like he was talking. I think from what I read, it seemed very personal to a point where like it could be an ex-wife or someone else
getcha.
that he's not telling his current wife about.
Okay,
get
but so he's lying to
getcha.
his police chief, and he got assigned Marty,
Partner.
who's a partner,
yeah,
who's
yeah.
a partner, right? And Marty is just like, I think
I forgot about Marty.
He's an idiot.
he's an idiot. Yeah, I mean he's just like not an idiot, but he's just like this bubbly,
idiot.
new to
Yeah, a rookie.
workforce, like a rookie. Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
he's just a rookie. I don't. Yeah.
But he got his levels up at the end, right? Like of the episode, even where I think like he puts some pieces together. I forgot. I was supposed to rewatch this, but I will say right now, I think like Sammy is gonna probably show up way more. In that, like, meaning, like, sorry, obviously he's gonna show up. He's a detective here, but I would say, like, as a character, we're gonna probably warm up to him. He just seems like that guy that you're gonna not want.
I feel like we're gonna find out some stuff about like the husband, and then there's gonna be this like some relationship is gonna develop between him and Maya, and
Yeah.
then eventually the shit he's keeping secret is going to come out, and that's gonna damage their relationship.
Wait. Sorry.
I see what you mean.
Who are you talking about?
Sammy.
See me?
Oh, okay. So like the cop is gonna fall in love with.
No one's falling in love. I'm just saying like they're gonna work together. Like right now they're very like suspicious of each other.
Okay.
So they're gonna like eventually in the show, my prediction is they're gonna like start working together and putting 2 and 2 together, and then eventually like right before they fucking do it, like when they're 80% of the way through, the shit that Sammy's been hiding is gonna come into view, and then that's gonna cause mistrust between them, and then they're gonna patch up and solve the whole thing. Like
Interesting.
like any other show.
Interesting. Okay.
Hero's Journey.
That's a good take, but I don't know. I don't know. We'll find out in episode 2 through 8. All right. So let's talk about the predictions. What do you guys think is gonna happen? Like, how do you think this story plays out, or how does episode 2 play out? There is no name for the episodes. They just call it episode 2. So episode 1, episode 2. Guess what the third episode is
What
called?
can that fucking mean?
Oh.
All 8 episodes. No titles are given, so you can't guess based on titles.
So, my first prediction, because I'm sure I'll have 8 of them.
Okay.
First prediction is going to be just that, like, I think the next episode is going to kind of dig more into the murder weapon because they're trying to link the gun she had, which I forgot what she called it. It was a very specific weapon, and they're going to, I think it's going to somehow get traced back to her because I think this is an inside job of someone trying to frame her ultimately, or that's why I said like I have multiple predictions, or she actually did it and she killed her husband.
Wait. We never talked about Maya. I just realized that.
Oh yeah,
We said we were gonna come back to it. So let's just
call.
talk about her real
good
quick.
call. So I will say Maya's already a very complex character,
Yeah.
right? Like
She's doing a lot.
She
Yeah.
had some war issues. That's what they mentioned. Like something happened at the war. We don't know what happened. So
Yeah.
and we keep seeing those flashbacks as well, right? So
some flashbacks, probably like some PTSD kicking in. You see it, and she sees her husband everywhere, ex-husband or however you want to call him now.
yeah.
And then she just like lays into that coach though, the soccer coach.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And it was like pretty funny.
Her relationship with her sister's her brother-in-law, right? Like, and the kids is also close. I think it was Abby is the girl's name.
The niece.
The niece.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's Abby.
Then who's the babysitter? The babysitter talking about Abby then.
Babysitter is
Whatever.
Isabella.
Isabella. Okay.
Isabella's the babysitter. My bad. Abby is not. Isabella is the babysitter.
Yeah.
But Abby is, I think, the
niece.
the niece. Yeah, yeah.
I will say.
And then Claire was the mother, or like her sister.
Oh,
Claire.
ex-mother. Okay. Or, I mean, mother, the sister that passed away.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which was also a murder.
Yeah,
they
that's the
never
thing.
found.
So I'm like, there's something weird.
But this was
going on.
months before, right? Like about 6 months before.
But they linked, and that's the whole thing. It's all we can talk about when we go to predictions. But, like with Maya, I think however they've written her, whether it's the writing or whether it's the acting, it's very well structured for her.
Mm-hmm.
Where like I don't know whether I can trust her, but I want to trust her.
Yeah, then I totally agree that I think they've shown her as very shady, but at the same time you're like, she's the main character. I don't think, like.
I was thinking, and I've watched some movies now, where you don't have a reliable narrator, and I'm like starting to see some of those signs here, and I'm like, man, but
Okay.
a lot of shows and movies now are doing it that way, and I like that. I like that where you don't have something that's predictable.
Interesting. So that's Maya. What about the predictions? What do you guys think?
I really don't have much. I think that like the cult stuff and the sister's murder and like the husband, I think that's connected. I do think that like I for some reason my mind keeps on going to affair. Like the husband and the wife, the sister-in-law had an affair, and
Maya got crazy and
Maya
killed
went and
them all.
killed him. Yeah,
But Maya was in Iraq or
No.
whatever she was.
I'm not saying that like Maya killed them. I think like they faked their deaths to like scheme this entire thing with the whole.
I thought that for a second too, because I'm like,
That's wild.
I mean, I guess like how else you gonna leave kids without no like but like what is it when you pay for your kids?
yeah. Well,
Nanny?
No, like when you like
Babysitter?
no like
Inheritance?
the monthly payments.
alimony.
Alimony.
Or
That's-
child-
But they're
alimony or
all
child support.
rich.
Child support.
They're so rich, it doesn't matter.
Not the fucking
Joe has a shit ton of money.
Joe does, but I don't know, man.
So-
They have enough money to
So that-
buy London.
So that was the whole thing I was talking to my wife about too when I was watching. I was like, the husband's obviously not dead, and I'm like, but the whole thing is that they said that the two murder weapons were the same. So I'm like, if that one's not dead, if he's not dead from this murder weapon, how is she dead? And
Well, I mean, I
she
feel
called me
like-
crazy, but I'm like, you know what, whatever, lady.
I feel like guns work. Sometimes you can replace the bullets
Yeah,
with blanks, but like I feel
or
like
like like
But if the same weapon was used and they had casings, fine, you can very easily shoot them somewhere and just say, oh, like let me leave the casing here, right? Or just by random chance because they're like forensics is gonna find this. So I'm with you where I don't think either of them are dead.
yeah.
okay, interesting. Okay,
I don't know about affair, but that could also be it.
but then why would they fake their deaths if they're not having an affair?
I don't know, man. It seems like a logical
Maybe
like
like a money thing or
But-
like
but the
that
two of them,
secret
right?
society bullshit.
or like they're just trying to get away from Maya.
Yeah, like that's their
What a
thing.
long scheme to just
Right?
not get a divorce.
yeah,
Um,
yeah, right.
Well, just anything to but pay alimony.
Or
Yeah,
maybe,
dude,
or
right?
maybe like the thing is you're supposed to like from that cult that they're in or whatever, like you're supposed to murder your wife or something. So he faked the marriage with Maya to murder her and then escape with the true love of his life.
That
Wait,
would be
what?
so stupid. That would be so fucking stupid. But I love it. If I really
It just
wish that
fooled
happens.
me once.
It is-
That's true. That's true. And cause right, like it's right. It's fool me once, shame on you.
what about predictions about the cop guy, the main cop guy, Sammy?
Dude, like that guy, man? Like, you want to cheer for him, but dude, it's so hard to like find anything to grasp onto. And he's like,
I think he's dealing with a lot. I think
I
just
guess.
like I get it, dude. Like it's a lot. Like he just like I could come with you to solve this murder, but I have fucking dance class.
he's got like Asperger's or something. Cause he was like dancing. He's like, you gotta shuffle left and then flip and something. And she's like, I can't do that. And he's like, oh, and they do it. And he's like, you gotta shuffle left and then flip. And I'm like, Man, she's trying, dude. She's pregnant.
She's pregnant as fuck.
Like very pregnant.
She's trying her best, man. But yeah.
So wrap up my opinion on him and what my predictions for him is like. I think he's just gonna get further and further into the story and get closer and closer to figuring it out, and then he's just gonna either, based on my theory, is that because both of them are alive, he's gonna end up trying to figure out how do he tell her, one, that he's wrong because he's like, dude, your husband's dead. You buried him. We were there.
Yeah.
And two, reconcile what the fuck happened.
Okay, so those were two of our three main characters. I would say the third character would be Judith, the mother-in-law. So, any predictions for her?
She's too busy.
She's too busy with what?
She's like always in a fucking meeting or some shit. Like you always catch her in a meeting and she has to pick up a call from her dumbass daughter-in-law. You know, like it's like she's like, I can't. What the fuck did Maya do this time? It's like, sorry, sir. Like,
It's like Miss whatever your last name is. It's Maya again.
God damn it, dude! I can't conduct business.
So, do you guys think that she's a fit mother? Because I think even what's her face, that Judith called her out a couple of times that, hey, are you unfit to take care of Lily?
Oh yeah,
Lily's the girl, right? Little girl.
The daughter.
Yeah.
I think you're onto something. She's probably trying to take custody, and then her son's not dead, so no alimony needed, or child support needed.
That's the whole motive behind all of this.
Billionaires trying to
they're billionaires, but they're really cheap.
Just frugal. Frugal is what they call it.
You check Judith's purse. It's like fucking McDonald's ketchup packets.
It's like one compartment for McDonald's, another compartment for the Taco Bell sauce.
Yeah.
No, I think she's like trying to gaslight Maya, take the kid, and like ship that kid off to wherever the fuck her husband is.
And her kid is. And you know it's a problem, and something's up when it's everything she said in such a condescending tone. And it's like, that's villainous, bitch.
It's gaslighting.
That's villainous.
It's gaslighting. No, like
her face is villainous though. Like
Yeah.
I don't think any acting gig she does, she's gonna come off as like a main
you're
good guy, like a good grandma.
You're gonna dress up like that, like a business suit grandma. You're fucking evil. Like,
Evil Corp coming in hot.
yeah. Okay. Also,
who's gonna run the business? Her kid died.
Also, where's her husband? Dead.
Is he? Is he dead?
He is dead.
Okay.
Oh,
I just thought he was like, conducting business. So he's like somebody's got to stay on top of this shit because I'm not getting calls from Maya every 5 minutes.
He's like, all right, dude, I gotta fucking work. You can handle my gaslighting, and you can gaslight her. I don't know what the fuck is going on.
Joe has 2 other siblings, by the way.
That's cool. But the dad is dead. Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
I think my theory of sacrificing a loved one really coming in.
Okay.
She sacrificed her husband. And this guy is trying to gaslight and sacrifice.
Man, you love a good cult story, huh?
Yeah, they're so fun.
Okay. All right. So let's wrap it up with our thoughts, and then let's collectively make a decision if we want to continue with this limited series or not.
Yeah, you guys can go first.
So I'll start off with whether I want to continue. I want to continue because I've given a lot of opinions on what I think is happening next, so I'll pass on that. Yeah, I'm down. It's an hour. I can give up an hour a week.
Okay, that sounds good. I think we should continue. I think just because there's a lot of good stuff that could potentially happen, or something really shitty too.
I'll be pissed if this is garbage. I'm gonna be pissed. Only 8 hours wasted, but
that's a full day of work.
That's a way of work, man.
It's a full fucking day of work.
Fucking makes sense.
What?
If it's garbage, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me 8 times, shame on you.
Season 2 is
dude.
Season 2 is like fool me twice? Question mark.
I get it. They're trying to fuck with us, dude. You guys are falling for it. You guys want to watch more?
You don't know.
What about you?
I fucking hated it. It's gonna be 100% honest.
It was very strong for just kind of a lukewarm opening.
I fucking hate these shows. I hate this show. I hate these types of shows. But this one I feel like does an exceptionally shitty job at all of it. I feel like this is one of those shows that just shows random things, and you're supposed to notice the background, and like a random detail. It's like, oh, her ribbon is blue today. And then they just incorporate like 3 episodes down the line. They incorporate some sort of flashback that explains it.
I get
and
it.
I'm like, cool. Like just.
If they pull that bullshit, I'm be
Like
pissed.
it's always
You're
some
right.
kind of bullshit like that, right?
But I kind of like those kind of shows because it kind of
It's
like
too-
you're supposed to use your brains and
No,
detective
you can't.
that
You
shit
can't.
through it.
I will say,
Realistically,
yeah,
you can't.
but I agree with actually I agree with both of you, right? So if it's a subtle detail like that, pissed off.
Yeah.
But if they do it, like not subtle details where it's like, oh, like if you were paying attention, this is happening. They talked about this. Blah blah blah. I'm in. That's all of Game of Thrones, man.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I'm always refer back to that and Lost because I think
oh
about
my
Game of
God,
Thrones and
yeah.
Lost, which was all about that kind of stuff, like just underlying, like there's a lot of subtext. Right?
But the thing is, in those shows, the premise is not about the mystery. It's not about solving the fucking mystery. These shows, this is it. That's what I don't like. That's what I don't like, because it just like I think they just make up shit. Like I think a general, like a real suspense. Like for example, right? Knives Out, great movie, great suspenseful movie. You're learning, growing, and doing everything with the characters.
Oh, that's bullshit. I call bullshit.
I don't think this movie or this show is like that. I feel like this show, the way it's done, I think it's, oh, I have made a story that you cannot guess or pick up on in any sort of way in the first 4 episodes. 5th one, you might start seeing a direction that I want you to think in.
Okay, I'm gonna stop you right there. This is a very dumb argument because
Fuck you, dude.
I'll tell you why, right? Because one, you're comparing it to a movie versus a TV show where it has to build up. There is that graph, right, where things build up to the climax and then the climax happens. Like that graph has to happen. The peak has to happen for every show. For a movie, it happens in a shorter span of time. And a movie like Knives Out, what happens is at the end, they're just like, I know how they did it. This is how it happened. And then they just kind of like break it up into like tiny pieces of how it actually happened. And things were there the whole time. So
Just like any other suspense.
yeah, but like when it's a TV show, you kind of have to build a world, right? You have to in a movie the world is a lot smaller.
It's an 8-episode
No, but
fucking series, dude.
even in 8 episodes, you can't.
You get 8 hours to
It's
do
8
it in
hours
versus-
versus an hour and a half, right? Your world is a lot bigger.
That's my whole thing. You don't need it to be 8 hours.
No, you
like
make-
some of these things don't need to be there. Some of these things don't need to be fucking 8 hours. I don't need to see this.
You guys are philosophically different. That's the whole thing
Yeah,
on this.
I
That's why.
just hate this. I really did not like this fucking show, and shows like it. I don't think a lot of suspense shows do a good job. There are some shows that I've seen that have done a phenomenal job with suspense. I love suspense, but not just in a MacGuffin way where it's like, here's something, and then 10 episodes later, I will show you a flashback that explains it. No, that's poor writing, in my opinion.
Let's see if they do it. I mean, let's see if they do that because we don't know, right?
Also, have you seen the show Flight Attendant? What were your thoughts on that? Because that was very similar.
That was
right?
very similar.
Yeah.
But the thing is, they at least covered it up in a way where she had a fucking alcohol problem. So she's also finding it out with you. She's a drunk, and it's literally like a Hangover meets Knives Out. You know, like
No, that's fair. I mean, but if so I get it. So
not like, oh, secret people.
So it's a
secret
different type of non-reliable, unreliable narrator, right? Like she's like, oh yeah, I blacked this out. Now I know, or I've unlocked the memory by doing this. Because I don't know. Subtle details again. I'd say if it's super too subtle, I hate it. I'm like, agree with that because that's
I
like
agree with that. Yeah.
right. But details like that, like you need that kind of show. You need Easter eggs,
Yeah.
right? Like the way I feel.
What did you think about like the subtlety of Knives Out? Too much, too little, just right.
I mean, the person's name, or spoiler alert, but the villain's name was Ransom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when I heard that, I'm like, okay, so is it him? Like,
Yeah. We were watching it together, and
You're
we
like,
both were
fucking
like,
Captain America
it's
killed this
fucking-
bitch.
Captain America. Yeah. He was also the black sheep of the family or whatever, and all of that stuff. So
Yeah, some people say I'm the black sheep of my family.
that's why we looked at you. That's why we all looked at you right now.
can't keep it.
Oh,
like
shit,
that,
shit.
man. But yeah, I think I'd say give it a go because I think it could be good, right? There's a possibility of it being good,
I just think.
and on the possibility of
I
that.
also don't like the acting. I'm sorry.
I will do say this, man. I'm watching Jujutsu Kaisen right now.
Fuck yeah, let's
and,
go.
and it's the same
baby.
thing. There's a lot of build up right now, but nothing's happening with it. And I'm like, there's parts of it. So that's why I'm
It's
like,
also bad acting.
give it a chance. I'm pretty like that's what I'm saying. Like I'm willing to quote unquote waste the remaining 7 hours of this show.
You're a bigger
But-
man than me.
The commitment's not quite as intense if like we're watching like an 8-season show or something.
Okay, listen though. Since both of you really want to watch and see what happens to this bitch's husband, spoilers, cult-based love affair. Just saying. If I'm right at the end of this, I swear to God.
Cult-based love affair.
We're
Okay,
letting you pick the next show then.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Since you guys seem to really want to watch this show, we'll watch it. I'll waste another 7 hours on this fucking TV show.
Well, it's
Also, just
Or
wanna
invest.
just want to let you guys know. One thing we haven't considered: what was the daughter doing during all this?
she was being
Where's
a
her
2-year-old.
Where's her
She was
alibi?
being a
here's
2-year-old.
the other thing. We were talking about that. Like, this fucking Maya bitch was just driving around all over the place. She never had her daughter with them. Like, where the fuck is she?
'Cause the babysitter ran away.
The babysitter's out on her.
No, she dropped her off at the daycare.
No,
Oh,
you
no,
don't.
it clears.
Yeah,
It's
or
not-
whatever. Like, clearly alcoholic father or whatever, like cousin.
That's got to be
Yeah.
some sort of
And
negligence.
I'm like,
But-
come on.
But the nephew and niece and nephews were like teenagers. They could take care of their kid.
Yeah, you know what? I got some trust in Abby.
Yeah, Abby's
She
good.
seems like a good kid.
She seems chill. She seems chill.
Yeah. Okay, but how about this? Instead of doing one episode a week, because man, it would take forever for us to wrap this show. How about we do 2 episodes episode 2 and 3 for next week?
Yeah, because you said 8 episodes, right? So we'll
Yeah.
do 2 and 3, 5, 4, 4, 5, 6, and 7.
I think-
and we'll
and
wrap up with one.
One.
Okay.
I do have a suggestion though. I think if this is something that we're willing to do, 2 episodes a week, which is doable, and since it's like an hour-long episode, we're dedicating 2 hours. I want to challenge your guys' opinions on this show, and the next show I want to be an actually good detective thriller show, and I would like to start watching Sherlock.
I am down for that. I'm 100% down for that.
I've never seen it. I know good things.
I have seen it. I love it. I will buy Sherlock for all of us to watch
Nice.
So-
tonight.
So I'm down.
Okay. So let's
do
do two episodes for Fool Me Once.
Yeah.
Let's try to wrap this up quick, and then next show we
He's
can
now-
move on.
now he's
I'm
like-
like very excited
he's
about
like, all right, let's
Sherlock.
let-
He's
you
like,
know
fuck
what?
this, fuck this Fool Me Once
Like
shit.
how about 4 episodes a week?
Yeah, like, let's just wrap this up. Why don't we?
I've been trying to get them to watch Sherlock since I remember meeting them, basically.
But okay, so let's do that next week. 2 weeks episode homework. Due by Sunday night.
So one thing I want to talk about before we shift anything, it's like, so have you guys seen? So recently, I'll preface it with like recently Donald Trump had lost some case, okay, and basically I think he owed some woman $83 or $85 million for basically reducing and lost revenue and lost all this stuff. He lost like a major case for it, right?
Yo, she's a better woman than me. Like I'll chase a motherfucker down if he owes me $100.
And here's the other thing. They calculated. I think don't no one quote me on this, but basically like the interest and all that stuff and the accumulation of this over however long it was equated to $355 million. Okay,
God damn.
so he owes that money. Now my man he's an astute businessman. I'll give him credit for this. After you hear this, I gotta give him some credit. My man released a couple things to help pay the bill. First of which, sneakers.
By the way, those things look dope.
Like I'm okay with them. They're not my style. That's
I
only
don't think I'll ever wear those.
he released some high tops. They have the T on them. I think it also has like it's gold plated. I don't know if it's actual gold or
No,
just
it's
gold paint.
It's gold, the Trump gold color.
Okay.
It has the Trump logo on it. It has the American flag on it.
I mean,
It's everything a Trump supporter would like.
yeah, no, that's fair. But here's the thing. It's on pre-order. $400. $399. 400 right. It's sold out.
Yeah.
It's sold out. And so I'm just there thinking, you test the market and say, hey, like, exclusive. You get the one of 100 or 1,000 or however many you created, right? He's like, we have a strict limit of 3 pairs per customer. Who wants even? I personally, I wouldn't even get one for 400. But who's gonna sit there and be like, here are these shoes that I may never get, but
One
I'm gonna get 3 of them
for each member in the family. The whole conservative side is wearing there.
dude. He has other stuff right here. Like he had like now I will say he's got these other ones called the T POTUS 45s and the T Red Wave. The POTUS 45s are pretty clean looking. Now, would I spend $200 on those shoes? No.
I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah.
POTUS 45.
He also had.
I'll shoot you. I'll shoot you a link.
He also had a cologne.
Yeah, and the cologne's out there. He has like a cologne and
Victory
perfume.
47 or some shit.
Yeah, cologne and
Victory
perfume.
47.
He's calling his shot.
Dude, that's fucking dope. You gotta, okay.
He's calling his shot, guys.
This man is great. Okay, the POTUS 45s are pretty clean.
We have different definitions of clean.
T-Red Wave, not a huge fan.
No,
The
not a
color
fan.
is just like way too much
It's-
red
yeah.
for me. Like that's Victory 47 though. Oh man, that looks like something I would never want in my
Right?
life.
Do you ever want cologne with like a big ass like picture of, or like, not picture, like etching or whatever you call it, of like his face?
Yeah, that's not
And
happening.
I'm assuming the cologne's like probably trying to like mirror Melania's body or some shit.
The perfume is, yeah. Oh no, this is not something that
That's
I would.
fucking weird.
That is so weird. Okay, well,
Or who knows? It could be Ivanka.
oh, that's even weirder.
So
Fuck.
apparently, according to the internet, the shoes are only 1,000 pairs.
Yeah, but here's the thing, right? You know how scammy, and the whole thing with Trump is that, right? Like he basically kind of screwed this woman out of money, and there's a lot of lost revenue and all the defamation, all that kind of stuff. And basically, the other thing is, like he's gonna. I don't think any shoe is ever gonna get shipped. Not a single pair is gonna get shipped.
Why do you say that?
Because I think this is just a sneaky way of just being like donation funds, and no one knows it, but they're basically like, oh, because the people who buy these shoes are hardcore Trump supporters, and they're probably going to give them the money anyways. And so next shipment's going to be, or next lot is going to be 100,000 pairs of shoes, and no one's going to get them. And
I
then,
don't agree with that.
and
I
the whole,
think
well, the whole thing is a lawsuit is probably way like this lawsuit. I'm going to consider this legal arbitrage, okay? And so like the cost of this lawsuit is going to be less than the cost of the lawsuit he's using this lawsuit or these funds to pay. And so suddenly he's made that money. That's a net profit.
what that's way too much work. Why wouldn't you just ship them out and that way you're still making you think a pair of shoes does not cost $400 or even $200, right? These shoes cost like if literally these shoes would cost to make about $30 tops.
Yeah, but this
Right.
guy, I mean, maybe at some point he'll do it. But like his whole thing, I mean, he claims that this is 12 to 13 years that he was wanting to do this. And that's it. Again, this is me putting my conspiracy theory hat on, and anything with Trump not being able to trust, again, this is my personal opinion, doesn't reflect anyone else's. And basically being like, this is a donation. And it's like, I'm sorry, we couldn't, because of the overwhelming demand of this and the supply chain issues, we were unable to secure this. But a donation has been made to the Trump campaign on your behalf.
Okay. Also, I think we are missing something. So on the website it says Trump and associated design and registered trademarks and/or trademarks of the CIC Ventures LLC. Trump sneakers are not designed, manufactured, distributed, or sold by Donald J. Trump,
Yep.
the Trump Organization, or any respective affiliates of the principals. It's 45 footwear that is using Trump's name and image to license with a license agreement, which may be terminated or revoked according to the terms.
Yeah.
So it's not Trump is selling it.
So this company could just file bankruptcy.
Yeah. I also don't think the money is going to Trump, right? Maybe a portion of it for the
and
the
like
trademark.
the trademark money.
Yeah.
He's getting
Yeah, but
for
so
licensing it out.
I don't think it's going straight to Trump
Wait, why would you say that? Because it says is it's not political. It has nothing to do with any political campaign.
No, but it's a different company. 45 Footwear is the one making these shoes. They're not gonna have Trump like get all the money. That's their business. They licensed it. It's a trademark, right? So they just licensed it.
Yeah, shady.
Shady. It's shady.
it's
I mean,
all
I don't know.
shady.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No matter how you put it. Shady.
But the shoes are nice. If that, yeah.
I don't think so, but okay. I don't think there's a single occasion for me to wear these shoes.
Yeah, but it's one of those collectible things. So sneakerheads would have, shoes like these all the time.
Sneakerheads would have this, but
I don't think we sneakerheads. It would just be people who are like, I couldn't get them.
Yeah.
Right? Damn, we should have done this instead of trying to like do any kind of arbitrage around the Vision Pros. This is the one. Like if we had gotten into this early, gotten like the actual access to it, listed it, someone will easily pay $800. Because the people who want this, like let's be real, no one's looking at $400 shoes unless they could afford $800 shoes, $900 shoes, right?
Yeah.
They think it's a deal, but that's my whole thing. Like he's gonna use these funds to pay off his debt, and
your worst case is that you're stuck with all of those shoes, and do you really want to wear those shoes though?
I mean, my whole thing is I would cut my loss, right? You've dropped $400. Maybe somebody will take it like 300, 200, 100, and yes, maybe just keep one.
Yeah.
Before we start the Reddit story, I just want to quickly drop some news in AI, the world of AI, because we always, we talked about it for the last few weeks, right?
Yeah.
So it was a really busy day. I think it was just a couple of days ago. Google dropped Gemini with 1.5 with 1 million tokens. That means that, and the videos they shared are so fucking cool. They literally like got a bunch of videos, like a black and white video where there's no sound in it, and they can like frame by frame, it can detect like what's happening inside of it throughout the video. A 45-minute video, and you can be like, hey, when does this person pull out a card from their pocket, and it can give you a timestamp of every time that happens, and you can ask it follow-up questions. It is very context aware. It is very just aware in general, and it was great. I thought this was a major leap forward, especially 1 million tokens. I don't think any other like ChatGPT or anything, they don't support that. But then ChatGPT or OpenAI, for that matter, decided, hey, we're gonna one up Google, and they launched Sora, which is their artificial, like basically ChatGPT powered video engine where you could give it a prompt and it can generate an artificial video for you. So I think one of the video was, hey, I want a video of a car moving through this endless road with greenery, and it had like this kind of sunset and all of these things, and it was able to generate like a proper copy of that video, like a minute-long clip of it. There's no sound to it, but it looks so real.
It makes you wonder: they're just probably holding off on releasing stuff until the competition does it?
Yeah,
and then they're like, okay, good, we know what they're gonna do. Let's just one up them.
Yeah. Literally, I think one of the videos was from like a couple of puppies just rolling around in snow, and I literally looked like they're like real puppies just rolling in snow.
The one I saw was an aerial shot around like there was like a body of water nearby, but it was like a boardwalk. And it was just like such a simple prompt that drew this.
And the beautiful part is that if you think about it, that you don't need B-roll footage, right? Companies pay thousands and thousands. Movies play thousands and thousands of dollars just, having like a drone footage or something.
Shot,
yeah, this could be generated through AI, and we as viewers would never know the fucking difference.
Yeah, I'm with you. Especially when it's like doesn't involve people, as many people, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Because the CGI, even those drone shots, a lot of the people, I'm sure they're adding a CGI, right? Like so.
I can tell you, in the next probably 5 to 6 years, we could probably see a end-to-end AI generated movie with every single frame of it being. I think we
did. Not animation wise, but script wise. I think Madam Web. Shitty fucking movie. I don't know if anyone's seen it. That was so bad.
But yeah, no, like something like that, like a real end to end, like, the whole thing is like written like by ChatGPT or something, and then Sora 5.0 or whatever the version that is in 5 years, it could probably just generate that whole thing. That would be cool. But yeah, that's all I had for like AI talk.
So can you imagine like movie making? How that's going to change that?
Yeah.
Right. So like you said,
I'm just looking forward to it, and I'm also scared of like what this means for original content in general. Maybe these people are not wrong to these protesters that we were talking about.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's going to be, a lot of people are getting replaced with this.
Yeah.
Could, right?
Yeah.
So Reddit time?
Yeah.
Let's go.
All right. So this one's going to be a bit long, but hang in there with me. So this one, the title is, "Am I the asshole for screaming at my wife that I didn't make our 4-year-old a sociopath?"
I mean, that's going to be a no from me, dog.
He's not the asshole?
Yeah, because you didn't make him a sociopath.
All right, let's see. I, 34 male, come from a family with a history of mental illness and unethical behavior patterns on both sides. Wow.
That's a strong start. Love that statement.
All right. My wife, 39F, is obsessed with the fact because her 4-year-old is showing extreme antisocial behaviors. She did not know much about my family until 2 weeks ago. She also did not know about my previous criminal charges.
Oh.
I shared it all with her now in hopes of brainstorming a solution to help our son. Wow, okay. Cool.
How did that not come up?
Yeah. All right. Our kid was kicked out of kindergarten for biting other kids. Strangely enough, he plays well with the neighbor's kids, and his company is sought after. At preschool, he does not want to share. He can hold a grudge and sulk for 3 days straight with no break. Incidents as small as running out of his favorite ice cream can set that off. He likes kicking anthills and crushing insects.
Whoa.
I can best describe it as a strange and unintentional fascination with putting others in discomfort or disturbing the balance of things. That's kind of fucked up, man.
He's just challenging the norm.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. I think he's just a kid, man. Some kids grow out of that.
My wife has sobbed multiple times for hours in my arms about the situation. We know why he's doing any of this, or we don't know why he's doing any of this. We're trying to reach him in a warm conversation, but he's playing his own game where we are fools. What? This is a 4-year-old. Weird phrase.
A sociopath, man. You remember that's the premise here.
Yeah. We were talking in bed one evening when our childhood behaviors came up. We wanted to know if we could ask our parents how to deal with us, how they dealt with us. Up to that point, she thought we were both extremely well adjusted, so what worked for us must be good. I decided to tell her about my past. The reason I hadn't done so earlier was because I was putting it all behind me. But I'm also very concerned for our son, and the filter came off without me realizing. As a child, and up to my 20s, that's not child,
most of that was not as a child.
yeah, I also exhibited sociopathic traits. I remember searching other kids' backpacks and stealing money when I was 9. I'm not sure
It's
where
just called stealing.
Yeah. I'm not sure where I got this idea. At 25, my employer wanted to press charges against me for fraud.
Oh my god.
Wait, how? Wait, 25. Wait.
This extends
that's not
beyond
a-
the kid thing.
He
Yeah.
lied. He's lying.
He's even lying about the story he's telling us.
He doesn't have a family.
Oh my god.
He's in a psych ward somewhere. At 25, my employer wanted to press charge against me for fraud. I lied about going to an Ivy League level university,
Oh, you.
but I
Okay.
didn't attend any.
That's not
Then
the
proceeded
craziest.
to mismanage major projects while admitting creating toxicity. There are many other instances in between. For a few years, I lived under a completely assumed identity and false backstory for a reason I can't quite say except for the thrill of it.
Okay, I think
What the
he's a,
fuck?
he's a
Psych-
sociopath or
yeah.
psychopath. However you put it.
Lying has always come naturally to me as a moral tool for navigating situations. My wife made a good point that my surroundings could have caused this behavior, but her son has had a very sheltered life. My Uncle Jeff is a sociopath. He never threatened people with, like, respect.
It's a weird statement.
Yeah, he never threatened people with respect and was jailed for fraud.
Wait, what the fuck? I don't know.
My aunt,
Is this guy writing it like a 5-year-old? I think it's just fucking
it's
gaslight.
weird.
Yeah.
My aunt Kate is a sociopath whose 2 eldest children no longer speak to her. They reported horrific abuse while growing up. That's my mom's side. My mom has APD.
What does that mean?
I don't know. What's APD?
Is that a disease?
Auditory processing disorder.
What does that mean?
Oh, it's an issue with not being able to understand what they hear in the same way that normal kids do. So, like, the example I can think of here is you say literally one thing and they hear something completely different. Like you said, like you're like, I'm a boy. They might hear like you identify as a girl or something.
Oh, so like kind of how my family treated me all my life. Cool.
That's just ignoring you,
Yeah.
from what I hear.
Yeah, my mom has APD. She has an extremely lack of empathy and tendency to cause conflict. Love that. She would often talk.
Who's normal in his family?
No one.
He did lead with that.
Yeah, he did. He was very upfront.
Very unethical history of unethical behavior.
Yeah, no, fool me once type behavior where like we find out at the end. No, he led with the conclusion. She would often talk behind her friend's back to me when I was growing up. What the fuck?
Dude, I'm gonna tell you right now. Like, you know, we're gonna go blind here. He's the asshole.
How are you gonna talk shit behind a kid's back, your own kid's back? She always seeks control and lacks self-awareness. My mom has not sought a diagnosis because she's a religious fanatic who does not believe in mental illness. My dad seems rather normal. I say he's the most well-adjusted of every member of my family, immediate and extended. On my dad's side, 2 cousins suffer from psychosis and schizophrenia. Our culture is one where infidelity is frowned upon and tends to cause divorce, but 3 of my dad's 4 brothers have children out of wedlock.
Wait, so you don't understand that this is the 2 humans who should have never made a baby, and like the genetics is just not fucking.
They found each other.
It's a recipe for a fucking disaster.
Maybe it's not hereditary.
Think about it. Think about the other side, though, right? They could have found different people
And ruin their lives.
and they would have ruined those people's lives. Their kids would have been different now. 2 separate kids. Their lives would have been ruined. I think it's. I think I'm pretty happy that they found each other.
No, I agree with that. They're creating like a pure bloodline of fucking evil.
And just avoid the bloodline.
You understand? This is how Hitler was created, right?
No.
No, I'm just fucking.
I was saying, well, it just sounds like.
And from what I know, he had a pretty normal life, except like the denying from art university.
That really set him off,
That really
dude.
fucked him
And
up.
you know
dude.
what? Colleges still don't understand. Like, we went through genocides. Just stop. Stop the fucking.
So do you there's a whole case, not a case study, but like an exercise where they list like the qualifications of what you want your president to be, right? And they talk about people. Someone who's had a DUI, someone who's done this, someone who's been a straight A student, didn't really do anything, was always in line, and they always pick that person, right? Like the one with like the least things that are wrong. They pick Hitler because Hitler had the like Roosevelt had like a DUI or something, and Hitler was like a straightforward kid, just kind of, you know, like I'm gonna generalize here, like the German stereotype is like they're very strict, they're organized, everything's structured, right? That kind of stuff, and so he followed that, and so that's why like it's funny that like, if you look at it just objectively like that, you end up with Hitler in power.
Well, let's go back to those sociopathic
Now we're gonna find
people.
these people who you would never put in anything.
Maybe it's not hereditary and it's generational trauma, but I've worked hard to revise my negative traits. For the past 2 weeks, she's come closer and closer to saying I betrayed her and our son is doomed. She joked about it at first, but that was her own way of lightening it in her own mind. I could tell it was sitting heavy on her. We can't talk about anything without it leading back to my past or my family's history. She was able to tie the most unrelated details to when we were watching a movie or taking a walk. We were doing the weekly shop when she started joking about me having a shoplifting gene.
What? This makes no sense.
As it happens, yes, I did have a shoplifting habit for a while as a schoolboy.
This guy has done it all.
That's something I'd kind of buried in my mind. I had that nostalgic ecstasy when you remember a period after forgetting it entirely for years.
Is he also fucking bipolar or something? Dude?
I don't know, man.
He's like, oh yeah,
Or
I
like-
used to shoplift.
or
I
like-
used to fucking murder people too.
Or like he like really turned a new leaf. I'm hoping it's that one.
That's a whole new tree. It's not just leaves.
Yeah,
He's
bro.
turning a whole new tree.
Yeah.
He burned the forest down. It's like, you know what? We gotta start over.
We gotta start the whole thing over.
I had that nostalgic ecstasy when you remember a period after forgetting it entirely for years. I thought we were carrying on with the chit chat, so I started recounting the details as they came to me. She turned serious all of a sudden and said, "This is a serious issue," and it's like she doesn't know who I am. She started saying our son is in serious trouble and needs help, and if she'd known, she could have sought out for help when he was extremely young. But she didn't because I never told her, and that was unfair to her and the most evil thing I could do. I lost my temper and screamed that she must not be smart to have married a sociopath and not realize all the while. Clearly,
Gaslighting ass. God damn.
Clearly, I've changed, and the whole thing seemed worth a look in the beginning, but now it seems like voodoo thinking to me. She hasn't spoken to me for hours. When I approached her, she faced another direction and told me to go away. Am I the asshole here?
Yes.
See.
So there's more.
What's more? I think he's the asshole. Nothing here. Like, okay.
Dude, this story didn't tell me anything besides that he just had a fucked up upbringing, and this kid is maybe taking on some of that.
Yeah.
But it didn't tell me anything.
Like, I don't think she did anything wrong. She's just like, I didn't know anything about this before marrying you. Like, you know, like, so
I
you
think
kind
that's
of,
the big problem here.
yeah.
Wife 39F, next post. Found out about my 34M family medical history and possibly connection with our son's issues and won't talk to me. Relationship advice is the form he posted this in. He's like, I need advice to resume control of my marriage ASAP. I'm currently at a loss. My wife 39F will not speak to me, and I fear that this might become difficult or impossible to get back from. 2 weeks ago, I told my wife that my family had a history of mental illness and antisocial behavior and trouble with the law. I want to emphasize that I shared this information of my own accord when I could have kept this private. Somehow, this seemed to be getting lost in her viewpoint. So now, she's making me out to be the bad guy for telling her things. So much for honesty. Basically, she pushed too far and insensitively on the issue, and I ended up screaming at her in the shop yesterday. She hasn't spoken to me since. The background on this, our 4-year-old boy has been caught causing issues at home and in preschool, and he's been biting other kids. My wife said he stares at he laughs at others being in pain or discomfort. He likes kicking anthills and squashing bugs. My wife says he stares at their insides after crushing them.
Oh my God.
But I've personally not noticed that. Once when other kids fell and started crying, my son's reaction was to go over to them and hit them. These behaviors are odd to me too, but I don't think they are very alarming. One incident with my son taking a knife from the kitchen and apparently threatening to stab my wife is...
What?
Ooh, okay.
My wife has wept over this multiple times, and I've comforted her and assured her that it will be okay. One evening 2 weeks ago, we were in bed talking about our own childhood problems. Hers were nothing concerning. Mine are worse, but she didn't know them. I didn't necessarily hide them so much as put them behind me, given our son's potential condition and intense desire for him to not follow my own path. I did for a while. I told her some details about my history. I was troubled from childhood up into my 20s. An employer once wanted to press charges. Yeah, we know this much.
Yeah.
Again, this is my past and no longer who I am. I think this is 100% behind me. And he goes to talk about, like, you know, his family's history.
Are these updates or is this like him?
This is a different
He
post.
just made a different post.
In like relationship advice, like how do I get my family back?
I get you.
Mike, and then she's like, my question is for you guys, back in my wife's good graces, or create an environment receptive to them. I'm losing precious time. She's getting colder by the hour. The more solitude she has to craft
her dead body is getting colder by the hour.
Yo, dude, what the fuck? Okay. I'm losing precious time. She's getting colder by the hour. The more solitude she has to craft her independent perception of me, the harder it will be to get back into our old life of happiness.
I don't know.
For context, wow, she's been wanting us to play an instrument together well enough to compose a backyard re-landscaping to achieve a very specific aesthetic, a trip to visit her close cousin who lives in France, an overhaul of our decor, and an e-bike.
So
It doesn't have to be anything extravagant,
last
but
thing
I'm
was
adding
random.
that for personalization. Simple ideas are more than welcome too.
The
he
last thing
wants
was
someone
random.
to solve your relationship problems, like legit.
That's what this sounds like, right?
Like there's no. I don't get it. This man, yeah, he is the asshole. There's no like, yeah,
I just feel like there's no one else to like put this on.
yeah.
Why is he even like putting? Why is he putting this out there? It's clearly him.
I don't think he understands it. That I think he thinks that he's just done with it. You know, it's the
Okay.
past.
Oh.
Yeah.
So there's one final. I mean, I don't think a final. I think there's one more post that he made.
Another one. He already had made two.
He posted this in r/marriage.
He's just spamming to see who's gonna side with him.
How can I tell if my wife 39F is planning to flee with my son?
Oh, that's
Oh my god.
My marriage life has imploded in the past few days. I have a feeling with my wife is planning to flee in the dead of night or when I'm not around. Someone suggested that idea, and now I can't get it out of my head. It hurts, but I don't mind if she needs space. My concern is she would probably take her 4-year-old son, and I can't allow that under any circumstance.
Whoa. Not
She-
allow that. This is getting.
She is an unfit parent to him. She hasn't spoken to me in 2 days. This is the first time she's sulked and brooded like this. Her friends and cousins are poisoning her against me, and she's been on the phone a lot recently. I should ask her what she's planning directly, but I cannot be assertive at this time because the balance is very shaky. I also don't want to give her ideas or possible rush her plans. If you can point me to stories of wives who have fled their husbands similarly, will help me spot patterns. Or you could tell me specific things that point to a person who's about to disappear. And if I'm sure she's planning to abduct her son, I'll be able to flee first so her kid is in my care. At the same time, I don't want to make that move wrongly as it would just escalate the conflict. Long term, I would like us to be a happy family again, but this is a turbulent time and I need to secure some leverage, especially regarding our son.
leverage.
She has also proven unable to parent him effectively and will probably cause him permanent damage. It is in our son's best interest to be with me. The comments. Your other posts are very telling. You should be concerned that your son has been biting and hitting other kids, laughing at
Yeah.
peers, and like hurting animals, or threatening to stab your wife. He needs to be he needs mental health intervention and support now before things become worse. Your wife being concerned does not make her an unfit parent. He responded, "Thank you for your advice, but I'm not interested in making my son feel broken or faulty and tanking his self-worth."
This guy fucking sucks, man.
Dude, I don't even want to hear more about this guy. It's just
Yeah, and
he's a
like
trash human.
he's just dodging everything.
I mean, anyone who's that's what I'm saying. Like he's posting on all these sites to get people to be on his side, and he's
Yeah.
finding that no one's on his side. I'm sure if you look deep enough, you probably find another like a fourth spot that he'd post this on. Fuck this guy.
Yeah, fuck this guy. I would say
Yeah, he's the asshole.
he's the asshole. Yeah.
Or what is it? What is it? YTA? You the asshole?
Yeah, you the asshole, yeah. Or yes, the asshole.
Yeah.
So I really hope the woman and the child are like away from this psychopath and the kid doesn't grow up to be like his father. Man, there's so many layers to this that I think that I really hope this is
He
fake.
got darker, man. Right? Every like, I feel like the further he went through the story, it just got darker and darker.
Yeah.
And yeah, sociopath for sure. I mean, do you even call it a sociopath at that point? Maybe more a psychopath.
He's
Yeah.
still, dude. He's still living a lie. Like, you know, it clicked for me when like I was reading because he's like, "Oh yeah, I moved past this." Like, no, you just entered a different lie,
Yeah.
and you've like entered Inception level version of thinking where you yourself believed it.
Yeah, you told yourself something. Damn. Well, I mean,
Oh, what a weird way to end the episode.
yeah, I will say. I mean, he's the asshole.
I think Fool Me Once was a better fucking story than this.
I disagree.
We're not sure yet.
All right. Thank you guys for tuning in. Glad to have you guys listen.
All right, take it easy.
Time to hit the hay.